Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your manifestation coach. All the information from me is below. My website is primarily to outline my pricing, and I'm gonna go over my services in just a little bit because there's have been some changes. But please don't use my website for another 2 weeks. I will give everybody a heads up. Probably in the beginning of the new year, I will finally be able to accept new orders on my website. So instead, please use Cash App when booking and or PayPal or Venmo. Additionally, I can send you a link that's directly linked to my bank account when you want to book my services. So currently, there is a way to get coaching with me. So the way to put yourself on the waiting list is by emailing me. The email is below. It's magicandmiracles number 7@gmail.com. Okay. Things are always changing and moving around, which means my schedule is. So at this point in time, it's going to be at least another 2 to 3 weeks for you to get on. It's just so happens that my clients just want to continue staying with me longer. And even though I do say that, you know what, after 2 to 3 months, I don't want to see your face anymore. It just so happens some people do still want to see my face. So anyway, so let me go over the services and how it works for those who are interested in the future. So I've just raised my prices. I've been talking about it for a long time. And the reason is because as an introduction, right, when I started this channel and then when I started coaching for the channel, I've been coaching before for many years, for like 6-7 years, and that's a whole other paying structure. It's much higher. Okay, it's structured totally differently. But for YouTube, right, I wanted to make it like simple. And structure it around audios and emails. And in the beginning, I wasn't charging nearly as much. And I just feel that at this point, with the way that I'm scheduled, I need to charge more. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense for me anymore. Okay. The way my coaching works is unlike any other coaching on the internet. You will never find this anywhere else, okay? It's structured around primarily audios, right? So all my clients know this. They record an audio. We start with childhood. We go through everything starting childhood, formative years, parents, or guardians, everything that created your person, the person that you are today. We go through this. And so we exchange audios back and forth. I reply to your audio. I go through it several times. I take extensive notes. I'm very old school. I take them by hand. That's just how I work. I don't like taking notes on the computer or even the phone. That's not the kind of person I am. I write it in a very specific way where it's allowing me to then elaborate in the way that I need to elaborate. And pen and paper, those are my friends. Okay. So then I record an audio back based on your notes and we go back and forth. You should also take notes in this process. It's very therapeutic. It really puts things on paper and makes you face everything that perhaps you haven't gone through in years. We go through beliefs, which is the largest bulk of my work. And so this process is very time consuming. Okay. I spend at least 2 hours, sometimes more, if the audio is very long, on each client, because my process is not like just replying automatically. I channel these responses, okay? I have to be in the state, like right now, every single time I record the audio for my channel as well, the process is the same. I had to take like 25 minutes. I was somewhere else. I got home and I had to like spend 25 minutes meditating just to get myself ready for you guys to receive what I have to say, right? So it's not just like I pick up my phone and I start like, replying. I have to be in a certain state so that I can channel and be my best for you, right? So sometimes it takes time, and if I take longer time to answer your audio in my coaching, you should be very pleased because I'm just putting myself together. There were times when I answered an audio and I rushed through it, and that was not ideal, okay, because it just not the way I work, but I felt like responsible to answer some people. And that's just, I learned that once and for all, that I will never do that again. So I used to say on my channel that, I answer audios every day. That is not the case. I have to really correct myself. I can't like go back and re-record every audio. But the thing is, right, that is humanly impossible for me at this point, okay? I'm booked to the max. And it's not to say I overbooked myself, but I have enough time. If you send me, let's say, a 10-minute audio today, I will answer you tomorrow. And if it's any longer than 10 minutes, I can't respond to you the next day. I will respond to you a day later after that, okay? And if you send me like a 50-minute audio, which some people do, I don't have a problem with it, right? Just understand that it's a time-consuming process for me, and I will reconsider a different structure in the future. I'm still kind of thinking about it, but for now, I want to stick to this kind of coaching because it has worked really, really well for a lot of people. Okay, so please understand what this is all about. Now, there is the three packages on my website, which is 2-week unlimited, which is that, we do this for 2 weeks, this kind of structure. And then there is the monthly unlimited, the same deal, but you have me for a month. I always recommend at least a month, okay? Some people stay longer than that. Most people, I would say, stay longer than that. Additionally, I added another package, and this is for those people who need more attention, right? So you get the unlimited emails and audios, but in addition, you can also text with me every day, or you can call me from time to time. I can't talk to you on the phone every day. No, that's not going to happen. I can text you here and there throughout the day, but if you want to call me and have a conversation with me, you need to text me in advance, and I will let you know when you can do that, right? So that's included in the package, and that's unlimited. But when I say unlimited, okay, some people get the wrong idea. This does not mean every single day. Okay, it doesn't. Like, I can't do this every single day. I'm one person. I don't have anybody helping me with this, right? So I can't do like so many people every single day. Like, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so if you want to call me in this package, you need to schedule it, right? It's just an inclusion that I felt some people need from time to time, especially if they're, wobbly in the beginning and all this kind of stuff. Unlimited is just unlimited. Like, there's no amount of these audios. There's no amount, rather than sticking to a certain amount of audios or certain amount of emails. I give you, there's no number necessarily, but we go as we go, right? So we don't have to watch the number. You just, record as many audios as you want. You just have to allow me to get to you. Now, again, this doesn't mean that you can send me 55 audios in one day, okay? That's not what it means either. You can send me 1 or 2 audios, and then allow me to respond, okay? But usually like one audio, please. And then, allow me to respond, and on we go. It's a conversation. If you overload me with audios, it's just, that's not going to work for me or for you, because that's not going to be beneficial for your coaching, okay? So again, please don't use my website for now for payment. Please use all the other options down below. And again, I prefer Cash App. I prefer Cash App. I prefer Cash App. Okay, word of disclosure here, all right? I am not like any other coach on the internet, okay? I am not like any other coach on the internet. I am very direct. I push you to do your best work, okay? I sometimes may come across as rude. It's true. This is my personality. If I feel right, like you're not showing up, you're not doing your part, or you're not doing the work that I'm giving you to do, I will politely, or you're overwhelming me with you wanting my attention 24/7, I will politely decline from continuing my coaching with you. Okay? And there are no refunds in my coaching, by the way. So this is a word of disclosure. I'm very direct. I have a personality. If I need results from you, then I'm going to push you a little bit, right? So if you are not in this kind of, mode where you can handle somebody pushing you to have results in a reasonable way, of course, then I may not be a coach for you. I am not the soft-spoken person who is going to be like, please do this. No, I can't do that. I'm giving you instructions. You need to do the work, okay? If you're showing up with no notes, okay, and you're saying you haven't even taken any notes, or, you just want to talk to me all day about nothing, like, I don't do this kind of shit. I'm not here like making friends. I'm here producing results. So, if I'm telling you that you haven't done your homework, or you haven't like shown up with anything for me to work with, and you get upset over that, okay, I don't know what to do with you then, okay? I'm going to always tell you like it is. I'm very direct, and I'm here to push people to produce results. If you're not here for results, if you're here to make friends, excuse me, you've got the wrong idea. I work with very serious people. All of them are super intelligent. Right? Anybody who's right now in my coaching are super intelligent, super motivated to produce results, super savvy, super educated, and very successful. If you want to be successful, you just got to show up and do the fucking work, okay? And I really do mean successful all around in your life and in your coaching or anything else. Otherwise, don't waste my fucking time. Okay, in addition, on my website, you'll find that you can, if you want to talk to me for like an hour, or schedule a Zoom. Actually, Zoom is out of the question for the next 3 weeks. Sorry. But if you want to talk to me on the phone, you can book that. I'm just way too busy for Zoom right now. Sorry, I don't mean to be like impolite or anything, but just for the next 3 weeks, if you want to talk to me and find out like if I can help you, just book me for an hour. But again, don't use my website, okay? So I asked the other day through my post, who wants to talk about what, and yeah, I have some notes, but that's not really what I want to talk about. So today's subject is I am the mastermind. Anytime people get in coaching with me, they're always telling me more or less kind of like a similar story. They say, I'm, learning about this manifestation world, and I found you, and then wow, this and that, or I've been at this for a year, or I've been at this for 5 years, or whatever it is, and then I found you, and boom, It's like, really? Okay. That's very flattering, but it's a little bit alarming at the same time, because I wish more people were talking about it. And speaking of which, right, Can you please subscribe? If you're listening to me and you still not subscribe, fucking subscribe. We need to like share this information with as many people as possible. My goal for this channel is 1 million subscribers at least. So like hit the fucking button. You might learn something, okay? And so the manifestation process, when you learn this world of manifestation, there is nothing to it. You've been doing it like all along. You are the one who has created all the circumstances from the beginning. Now, when you're a child, you're not aware of these concepts. Like, I wish they taught it in school, right? From like age 5 or something. But the thing is, nobody does that shit. So far, I don't know, maybe in the future. So you're not aware of these concepts, and unless you're somebody very intuitive, like a lot of empaths, I talk to a lot of empaths in my coaching. I consider myself an empath, and I figured out at age 12 how to manifest because I don't know why. Whatever. It just came to me that, you know what? If I wrote something down, I was like heavy duty into writing stories when I was 11, 12. That's when I started. I went to school for journalism. That's like my love of writing and scripting. And it occurred to me at age 12 that if I wrote shit down, it comes true. Like it just comes true. Like I was like, whoa, I have magical powers through the writing of it, through immersing myself in this world, right? So you're always manifesting something. You're manifesting all the time. It's happening this minute. Why? Because you are traveling through billions of parallel realities every second. Now, don't you think you're creating something? You're creating this moment. You're creating it so effortlessly that you don't even notice you're creating it, right? So if you were not creating it on purpose, guess what? The next frame would be different, and the next frame would be different. There would be no continuity in between the frames. Like billions of frames per second is a lot of fucking frames, right? So if you're not creating it on purpose, then tell me what the fuck you're doing, right? You've built this fairy tale up from the ground up. From the ground up. And I'll tell you something else. This morning I woke up and there was this presence in my bedroom. A very like divine and heavenly presence. It sometimes it comes to me, and it was telling me, this is the message for your next video. Because I knew I was going to record something today. And it said to me, whether you want to create a fairy tale or a nightmare in your life, the process is the same. Just create the energy in your being of what it's made of, and then it will become out picture. Just paste it over into your world. Your body is a transmission tower. And so whatever energy you create in your body becomes outpictured. This is why it's so important to check yourself whenever you feel down, whenever you feel kind of discombobulated. Now, we're all humans. It happens to me, it happens to you, it happens to everybody, right? But you catch yourself and you're like, I'm doing it. I better turn around before I create a manifestation. I better jump into a parallel reality in which I reign. And so the mastership of your creation becomes you. Like you're the tower of all these frequencies that you can correspond to. You don't have to stay on the frequency you don't prefer to be. You can be delusional enough to change frequencies, like on purpose. Like, what would it feel like if I had this whatever I want? Now, you hear this a lot, but the thing is, this is how you change frequency. How would it feel if I had right now the lover that I really crave? How would it feel if I had this salary or money or whatever I want to manifest? It would feel absolutely heavenly. Well, that's the energy that's going to create that shit. That's the energy in your body that's going to like beam out into the universe. Like imagine your body is a tower of energy and you have like a beam coming out of your head and you beam out to the universe. This is my fucking frequency right now. Bring me this right now. And it is going to do that. The fact and the matter is, it's going to do that like effortlessly so. The idea is to stay there. Your energy reverberates throughout the entire universe. And what is universe? You. So of course it does. It reverberates through entire universe. So when these people are like leaving me these comments, they must not be like long enough on my channel. And I said, okay, but then I was like, you know what? This is too simple. How to feel enough, how to feel worthy of a man. Okay. Feeling not worthy. Okay. Do you know that the first premise of the universe is that you are God? And you want to feel worthy of a man that you created in your reality in the first place? Okay. I'm sorry. Can you please like look through my videos before posting things like that? I would really appreciate. I'm just assuming that everybody here already knows like my stuff. The self-concept that everybody talks about, and you know what? I really don't like this expression anymore. It's thrown a lot around too much. The first rule of self-concept is what? Class? Don't worry, I'll wait. It's that you are God. It's that you are God. The self-concept is that you are God. So if you are God, you're not asking these silly questions like how to feel worthy of a man. Oh my God. This is me hitting my head with my phone. Listen, I'm not making fun, but I am. It's that you have to get into coaching to find out why you have these worthiness issues. Because if you really download these concepts, you never ask stuff like that. You just don't. It's irrelevant. You're like, what? Worthy of a man? How about they have to be worthy of me to be in my presence even? The redirection of energy is the work the entire time. So many people come into my coaching and they're like, well, this problem, that problem, whatever. And the solution always is you, right? So you know that. The solution is always you because you create everything. You are the mastermind. And the bulk of my work is beliefs because it has to do with you. Those are your beliefs inherited from all sorts of situations. Sometimes they're traumatic. It's true. And traumatic doesn't always necessarily mean what is traumatic to one person isn't traumatic to another. Okay. Obviously, there are certain situations when it's completely beyond a shadow of a doubt that was completely traumatic and fucked up what happened to this person. But it could be what could be traumatic to one person doesn't have to be traumatic to another. Okay, everybody's different. But the thing is, right, beliefs are built through trauma of any kind of emotions, I should say. And the emotions are what register your beliefs, like it seals it in. You're feeling an emotion, you're learning something. You're learning to, behave a certain way, think of yourself a certain way, expect certain things, expect certain amounts of money or no money, man or no man. Think that you are somebody, maybe you're not that person at all. So that's what I do in my coaching. And that's why I'm so adamant, because sometimes, a strong personality like my own is necessary to break somebody out of their fucking cycle. People are very stubborn with their cycle, even if it doesn't serve them, especially if it doesn't serve them. Because people get addicted to dysfunction. People get addicted to stress. People get addicted to all sorts of unhealthy situations because they think that's all there is. And that's completely bogus. That's not all there is. The universe is unlimited. You're unlimited. Life is unlimited. Now, it takes work to arrive at that point, which is why I offer coaching. And it's my pleasure to help people. I love helping people if you let me. That's the big difference. If you let me. The point is, though, it does require work and you need to show up and do it. It's not going to happen with a magic fucking trick, okay? It's not going to happen with a magic trick. The magic trick is work. Work for it. Everything requires work. It's if you want to do it. You know, I titled my channel Magic and Miracles, and I say it in a lot of my audios, videos. The magic and miracles is a reference to you. Because you're the magic and miracles. Once you have the shit down packed, you are the magician. You are the miracle. Okay? You're the one who creates all of this stuff and has created all of this stuff. Now, some people don't know it and it becomes like an insult. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, I created this and that. Well, were you aware of your emotions? Were you aware of your beliefs? No. Okay, then you're creating unconsciously, but you're still creating it. You're still creating it. So when people come and say to me, oh, I was so disenchanted with the manifestational world, I feel like, okay, well, you know, we have a lot of work to do then because, you know, the work is you. It's always you. The disenchantment isn't with the manifestational world because the manifestational world always works. The disenchantment was because you didn't know how to do it, how to properly do it, how to do the real work, okay? And so the way that you create any change, anything new, is by emitting the signal. The signal goes out into the universe and creates a world. Every frequency corresponds with a certain world. For example, everybody's so keen on manifesting their SP back, right? So a lot of people on my channel. It's very, very easy if you understand the mechanics of it. Parenthesis here, I always have to say, if you have done the work on yourself, because the self, the new self, without the old shitty beliefs, is what's going to start manifesting anything you want. Okay, if you haven't done the work on yourself, fucking forget it. No, seriously though, I'm not discouraging anybody, but this is the reality and the truth of it. Anybody who's going to tell you otherwise is a liar, a big, big, fat liar, okay? So it's easy if you've done the work, if you understand the mechanics of the universe, and if you understand that in a parallel reality on that frequency, that SP already exists with you, and they have always existed with you. Now, of course, as always, the 3D reflects back to you what you did originally in your mind. So if you see them absent from your reality, that's what you created before. And if you want to create them all over again in your reality, you're just gonna have to pretend for some time that they're already here. And that's where scripting comes to place, some affirmations. Oh, by the way, let me mention affirmations before I forget that. Hold on. I had to write it down so I don't forget, because I always want to say that and mention it and I forget. That's where all techniques come in order for you to exude this feeling that this person is already here. And there's no it's not that difficult. It's not. If you wanted this person back, they're yours without any fucking anybody else and none of these complicated scenarios. It's just you created the scenario in the first fucking place. So it's just as well you uncreate it and create something new. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, parenthesis here, I have to mention this, right? Because somebody came to me the other day. It doesn't include somebody who was abusive to you, okay? It doesn't include somebody who was abusive to you. This kind of situation, I don't deal with. This is the only exception, because if somebody's like physically abusive to you, or, you know, is on drugs and this kinds of monstrous situation, my advice would be honestly to just like leave it alone and start like creating a new SP, okay? So if you're creating, or rather emitting, this frequency, and you understand with purpose what you're doing, the kind of energy you put out, right? The energetic work is the most powerful work there is. So aside from affirmations, which I'm going to get to later, don't worry, aside from all the techniques in the fucking world, right? The most powerful work is the energy work. Because if you've got the energy, if you've got that, so it's not even the feeling, although it could be like similar, it's the energy of that frequency, of that parallel reality. And I don't know how else to describe it other than it's a color. Energy has colors. It vibrates on a certain frequency with certain kind of colors. Like, you guys know, when people make movies, it has a certain color scheme, right? For those movie buffs or movie makers out there, you know that there's a color scheme. Now, every frequency has its color scheme. I don't know how else to describe it, because it's a certain kind of energy. It's a certain kind of world. And when you exist in that world, you know exactly you're there. I hope I'm explaining this correctly, because I understand it and I'm trying to explain it. So in that universe, in that parallel reality, in that world, your SP or the money or whatever it is you want exists and has always existed, and it has a certain vibration, it has a certain feeling, and it looks a little bit brighter, it smells a little bit sweeter, it's very welcoming, and the feeling is completely magnificent. But you created with that energy. You created with the knowing that you're creating it on purpose. You know exactly what you're doing. And you're just going to have to get yourself there. In your imagination, with scripting, with, delusion, the so-called delusion, which has a negative connotation, but in my world, it does not. You're going to have to get yourself there and stay there. And throughout the day, you're going to have to not pay attention to anything else that happens. The mastermind does not give a shit about 3D. The mastermind knows what it did. You create every single day. Just for fun, I create all sorts of unlikely situations every single day. Do I sometimes have my off days? Obviously, everybody does. Everybody does. Yes, even your coach is not perfect. Nobody's fucking perfect. But the thing is, though, if you understand how you did it once, you can do it all over again. And you can manipulate the energy and you can manipulate the reality to your liking every single day. Especially, it's fun when you created something really shitty. And you're like, wow, yeah, okay, I created it. That's fun. How can I morph this into something that is beneficial to me? Because even if the situation is completely shitty, I gotta tell you this. You can recreate something completely magnificent out of it. Because you can just decide in that moment, this too shall serve me somehow. I don't know yet how, but in the parallel reality in which it serves me, this too will serve me to such a degree where I'm going, if this shitty thing didn't happen, I would not have arrived to that higher level. Does that make sense? So if you fuck something up, quote unquote, if the SP, separation, something happened, something seemingly not desirable. If you turn the situation around in your mind and you say, you know what, this too shall serve me because I am the mastermind. So obviously, if I'm the mastermind, if I've got this confidence that everything serves me regardless of the situation, then this too shall turn around in my fucking favor. Don't know how. I just have to keep the vibration that it's working out in my favor. And you know what? It works every time. It works every time. It works every time. Because you're in that world. You have to stay in that world. You're disregarding everything around you and you're like, I know exactly what I created. So this doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't matter at all. Okay, let me talk affirmations for a little bit and then I'm going to wrap this up. So I'm going to try to say this in a way that it doesn't diss anybody. All right, so I have to say this to everybody on my channel. The way you do affirmations is not saying them 10,000 fucking times, okay? I'm tired of people emailing me about this shit. Because that is not how you do it. That is completely moronic and uneducated. The proper way to do affirmations is you pick a few affirmations, 3 or 5 at most, okay? And then you stick with those affirmations, you put them on the 3x5 card, and you don't repeat them 10,000 times throughout the day. You just look at them from time to time, maybe twice or 3 times a day, but you don't obsess over it, okay? That is not how you drop it into your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is a very kind of like, it's a little bitch who doesn't like change. And so if you force it, it's going to have resistance. The way you do it is you just gently tap it from time to time and say, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Oh, yeah. That sounds kind of fun. Oh, yeah, this sounds kind of fun. And then gently, it absorbs this information. If you start bombarding it throughout, like people who fall asleep to affirmations and people who affirm it 10,000 times a day, first of all, you have that kind of time? Because I don't. What are you doing? Seriously though, what are you doing? You have to be intelligent about your work. You have to be precise. You have to understand what it is you're doing. This is not how it works. I feel it is my obligation to tell the people on my, channel that, please, if anybody's doing it right now, you're causing yourself like distress and disservice of immeasurable magnitude. You have to understand how the mind works before you try to jam something into it. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, okay? The power of energy and the power of decision is far more potent than any affirmation. Affirmations are great, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, the power of energy, the putting yourself in that vibration after you created that world in your mind, that is the mastermind. That is the blueprint that you want to follow on your merry journey to success. And again, I have to, insert parentheses here, provided you have done the work on your beliefs. Because if you've got resistance with your beliefs, again, fucking forget it. You've got to have this magicianship at heart where I can create my imaginary, quote unquote, imaginary world, as if there's anything wrong with that. Everything comes from imagination, and then it will be outpictured. But it comes from the energy. It comes from the energy world, And like I said, the energy comes from you. Thus, you're the mastermind. Okay? Thank you for listening. All the information again is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.